Avoid skipping. Does she forget you? Or does it happen when you cease caring about her? Radically alter her perception of you. The truth is that when you stop caring, you alter the entire dynamic, and it's more potent than you may imagine. In this video, we'll reveal exactly what goes through her head when you detach, and how this one action can alter not just the relationship, but also your sense of value. You don't want to miss this part about how caring too much makes her turn away, so pay attention. If you're constantly texting her to check on her and offer solutions to problems she hasn't even asked you to fix, you may think you're being supportive, but in reality, you're sending a message that says, "I need you to validate me." This may seem like the best way to show your love or commitment, but for many women, it can come across as suffocating or even desperate. This excessive concern, when you put her on a pedestal and constantly put her needs and feelings before your own, you unwittingly diminish your own value in her eyes. Consider this. Have you ever been so available to someone that they started taking you for granted? If so, it's not because they're a bad person. Behavior frequently pushes her away because it upsets the natural balance of attraction. Women are naturally drawn to men who are independent and self-assured. It's the power of emotional detachment. Because human nature longs for things that feel exclusive and unachievable. When you stop caring too much and stop giving your whole attention, you create an emotional void, and all of a sudden she begins to notice the stillness, the absence of texts and your unwavering assistance. Her emotions resurface in that period of uncertainty, but ceasing to care too much isn't about becoming cold or uncaring. Rather, it's about realizing that your energy is a gift that shouldn't be given freely without reciprocity. By choosing to respect yourself enough to concentrate on what really matters, your own development and happiness, you're not deserting her. Section 2. The impact of letting go on the mind. The scarcity principle is a deep psychological consequence that occurs when you cease caring for her. Pulling back and letting go of the impulse to dominate the connection doesn't change the fact that people value things that seem uncommon or difficult to achieve. Her subconscious is trying to make sense of the new dynamic. When you were always available, she never had to think twice about you. But now that you're a mystery, and the human brain is wired to solve mysteries, her brain goes into overdrive to figure out what's changed. Here's the thing. The moment you step back, she doesn't just feel your absence. She begins to question it. Why isn't he texting me anymore? Has he moved on? Mysteries. It is insatiably curious. For this reason, as you let go, many women begin to notice your absence more keenly and replay previous talks. Overthink your most recent exchanges and even search for indications that you're focusing on someone else. But the truth is that you're not doing this to control her. The goal of letting go is to relieve oneself of the mental strain. Section 3. Rebuilding your identity during detachment. When you stop caring about her, you create a powerful opportunity to rediscover yourself. This is the reason she starts thinking about you when you pull back from overanalyzing. It's about giving her space to consider what she's lost while you regain your peace of mind. In relationships, many men lose their sense of self because they are so preoccupied with satisfying their spouse that they lose sight of who they are. This is not only harmful, but it is also unattractive. The magic happens when you let go, because it frees up all the mental and emotional energy you were giving to her and allows you to use it for your own development. Begin by determining my goals and who I am outside of this relationship. My dreams and passions. Every action you do to better yourself not only benefits you, but also alters how other people see you. So perhaps it's time to take up that hobby you've been putting off. Go to the gym to get fitter, or start a project that fascinates you. Self-assurance and confidence are magnetic traits that the worst part is that you're rebuilding your identity. She may not express it directly, but witnessing your success without her makes her reevaluate her own worth in your life. Is he happy without me? Or has he outgrown me? The true beauty of this process is that even if she doesn't return, you will have developed a version of yourself that doesn't require her approval to feel completely entire. These thoughts may be really potent and frequently prompt her to take action to reconnect. 4 indicators. She observes the change. How can you tell when she's beginning to notice your absence? The clues are frequently subtle but quite clear. For example, she can start like your old images on social media, leaving comments on postings she would have otherwise ignored, or even sending you cryptic emails like, "Hey, how are you?" These behaviors aren't arbitrary. Rather, they're her method of determining if you've truly moved on, or if you're still emotionally available. However, this is where most guys make a mistake. They interpret these signals as an invitation to immediately return to old habits, cause them to react too hastily, and lose the momentum they've achieved. Instead, acknowledge these how to manage your emotions. During this process, these indicators show that your detachment is functioning. Maintain your composure and reply when needed, but refrain from music. Claps, overinvestment, that you don't need her or anyone else to complete you. When you stop caring, you regain your emotional independence and stop waiting for her texts, approval, or affection to feel worthy. This mental shift isn't just powerful, it's magnetic. When she realizes that you're succeeding without her, it creates an irresistible attraction, and she begins to doubt her own choices, wondering if she made a mistake by pulling away. But most importantly, by the time she realizes how valuable you are, you may not even care anymore. You've created a life so rich in purpose that her presence becomes a bonus rather than a necessity. When you're content without her, you not only get her back, but also win yourself back. This isn't about retaliation. It's about progress. Section 6. Why chasing is ineffective. When a woman starts to distance herself, one of the biggest mistakes guys make is to start chasing her even harder. It feels natural to try to bridge the gap by texting or phoning her more, or walking away to show her how much you care has a psychological impact. But here's the truth. Chase only makes her feel more distant because it completely changes the dynamic. Rather than being a man with worth and purpose, you start acting like you need her approval to feel complete. And the moment she senses that neediness, her interest in you fades. Women are drawn to men who are confident in themselves and don't need approval from others, especially not from a romantic partner. The instant you give up chasing, you take away the dynamic where she feels in charge and instead concentrate on your own objectives, passions, and happiness. This isn't about playing games. It's about taking back your energy and demonstrating to her that your life is meaningful and full with or without her. Ironically, when you stop pursuing her, that's usually when she notices you again. The lack of your pursuit gives her time to think about what she's lost. And when she knows you're not waiting for her, it can spark curiosity and even regret that pulls her back to you. Section 7. How silence is a powerful tool that can speak louder than words in relationships. When you stop talking to her all the time, you leave a void that she can't help but notice. This isn't about being cold or ignoring her. Rather, it's about giving her space to think. When you're always there, talking and responding, there's no room for her to miss you, only silence. She wonders why you're not contacting her anymore, and stillness compels her to face her emotions. Is she comfortable with the distance? Does she sense your absence? Silence has the advantage of working on several levels for her signs. She is beginning to notice your change, which gives you a sense of curiosity and uncertainty, as well as clarity and peace. You are no longer caught up in the pattern of overanalyzing every text or attempting to interpret her conflicting signals. Instead, you are concentrating on yourself, giving you the opportunity to reevaluate your relationship. The important thing to remember is that silence isn't about manipulation. Rather, it's about respecting your own boundaries and letting her understand the value of your presence, which frequently occurs not through words, but rather through the quiet power of your absence. Section 8. The significance of establishing limits. Women are naturally drawn to men who have strong boundaries because they demonstrate that you are not willing to compromise your own values or well-being in order to keep someone else happy. When you stop caring too much, you are essentially setting a boundary, not just for her, but for yourself. Boundaries are an important part of any healthy relationship. Setting boundaries for how much you'll put up or how much you'll tolerate makes her appreciate you more, since she realizes that you're not a pushover and that you value yourself enough to leave if needed. This is a show of emotional maturity and confidence. Setting limits isn't being harsh or unkind. Rather, it's being explicit about what you want and won't accept. When you follow through on those boundaries and demonstrate to her that you mean what you say, it sends a strong message. In actuality, others will only treat you as well as you permit them to. So by establishing boundaries, you're not only safeguarding yourself, but also fostering an environment where respect for one another may. It's tempting to jump back into things as if nothing happened, but the hard truth is that if you don't stay grounded, you run the risk of reverting to the same patterns that initially caused the issues. Thrive, Section N. 9. When she returns, stay grounded. Let's say your detachment works, and she begins returning, texting you, calling you, maybe even suggesting a meeting. What to do after this to preserve your power? It's important to keep the same energy that initially drew her back to you, which means remaining self-assured, focused, and confident. Don't immediately drop everything to accommodate her. Instead, show her that, even though you value her presence, your life doesn't revolve around her. This isn't about playing games. Rather, it's about making sure the relationship develops in a healthy, balanced manner. By remaining grounded, you set the tone for how things will go. You demonstrate to her that you've changed and that it's growth that will sustain her interest. Section 10. The supreme strength of letting go. Letting go isn't just about her. It's about you. It's about realizing that your value comes from within, not from her approval. When you truly let go, you unlock a sense of freedom and confidence that's incredibly attractive to everyone around you, not just to her. You're no longer chasing love or approval. Instead, you're living authentically and unapologetically. The ultimate power of letting go is that it shifts the focus back to where it belongs on you. Whether she returns or not becomes irrelevant because you've created a fulfilling life for yourself. That's the real win. Not getting her back, but getting yourself back. Thank you for viewing, and if you thought this video was helpful, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more relationship and personal development ideas. If you would want access to exclusive benefits and material, think about joining the channel. I'll see you at the next one.